we're going to do a Big Muff Shootout.
Yeah, we're talking about fuzz.
Fuzz is, and we've got two. We're going to do something new that we haven't done yet. Is I've got a switchblade here from Electro Harmonix, and Steve and I are both going to play. He's got a Telecaster with a humbucker in the bridge. I've got a Stratocaster with those pickups that we got from Michael Lodge.
Yeah, Nordstrom's.
Yeah, that are, well, they're not Nordstrom's.
Right.
Technically, they're like his crazy creation.
Yeah, that's true.
But they sound very Stratty. Here I am. We're playing through the Quilter. Here, I'll let Steve play. Now you get to hear the difference between Steve and mine playing.
That's a Seymour Duncan, I believe, custom, the SH5.
All right, and we have 3 Big Muffs here. First of all, we've
so many muffs.
We were sent the Green Vodka by Mccaffrey Audio to do a review of and do a demo of. We have a video up on YouTube, so look for that. And we also are doing this right now as part of the review.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot it out against Adam Powell's Sovtek Russian Big Muff here. These, I think you can get these on eBay anytime for like 120.
I have no idea.
These are like the old big black box, yellow text, the Big Muff Pie. And then we have a clone here built by listener of the show, Megan Lee, that has, I don't know if it has any mods to it. It's just,
it says it's an op amp, so I don't know if that's, I don't know a lot about the Big Muff circuit, so I don't know if that's different.
Right. We don't know what's
standard.
We don't know what's unique about her.
It's definitely a big fuzz sound. I think this is the guitar PCB build that you can buy from Mammoth Electronics, but again, not 100% sure.
And so basically, what we're going to try to do is show the details or the features of the Green Vodka, which is, I think it's a great Big Muff clone. Honestly, it has some extra settings and features that the other two more standard Big Muffs don't.
Yeah.
And we're also going to just kind of dick around and do a Big Muff Shootout.
Here we go.
You know, this is going to be fun. So let me just jump on my guitar in between the muffs real quick.
Are you doing bridge pickup?
I'm doing the bridge.
All right, so this is all going to be kind of like a lot of lead tone, kind of bridge pickup kind of stuff. So.
All right. Here is the Green Vodka.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the Green Vodka. Here's Megan Lee's take on a Big Muff. And then let's try the Russian Big Muff. Now you want to run through with the humbucker?
I don't know.
All right, so that was the Green Vodka. Here's Meg Lee. And then on to the Russian. All right, we definitely have different playing styles. That's
yeah.
These
I'm awesome. And well,
these all they all sound like Big Muffs, obviously, but each one does have a little bit of a different flavor to it.
Yeah. I feel like the Green Vodka and the Electro Harmonix are similar-ish.
I feel like the Electro Harmonix is closer to like your kind of chaotic, freaked out fuzz sort of sound.
Right.
Where I feel like the Green Vodka has a really tight, kind of like lead-centric sound.
Right, but I feel like Meg's is just this like, if I was in a Sun or a Mogwai kind of a style band, like it's just a huge sound.
Meg said she wanted me to play a Smashing Pumpkins riff.
Well, that is the signature Muff riff for them, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, was that on a Muff or was that on the Fender Blender?
I always thought it was. I
know that they played.
I always think of Smashing Pumpkins as Muff.
Yeah, I think they used a Fender Blender on something, but I don't remember which. It was probably the Big Muff. Let's go through the features of the Green Vodka. Get the sustain and the tone at noon, and the beef the beef switch and the pass switch are both turned all the way to the right. So something I really like about this thing is how much brightness is on tap. Like you can dial the tone all the way down, and you get that signature deep muffy sort of thing. But then the brightness, you have so much here. So if you want to do like a bright thing as an effect, it's there for you. Let me go to a normal setting, and we'll see how far the sustain goes, the drive knob. All right, that sounds pretty good. So light, it sounds like this.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cut. It's cut pretty hard.
Yeah, it almost takes the signal out how low it is. So let's do more like a 10%. That's not bad.
Nope.
That's a nice light fuzzy sound. Now let's go extreme. Let's go all the way. And it gives you a ton of drive. Like it almost gets into like kind of distortion territory.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gets more into distortion territory just because how kind of tight and clean this Muff is.
It's a really definitely, like you described it earlier, I think almost as like controlled versus the Muff, the other one. I can definitely see that. I really like the way it sounds. It's really not. I'm not when it comes to fuzz, like I've never really used a Muff a lot.
Right.
The fuzz that I have is a Fox Tone Machine clone.
Yeah, and that thing's
a completely different sound.
That thing's nutty.
So I think in some ways I was expecting it to be a lot dirtier.
Yeah, well, Adam uses the Electro Harmonix here, and when he uses it, he does this crazy like noise thing where there's hissing and splattering all over the place. This is the Green Vodka is just a much more focused, like lead-centric kind of like clean playing sort of sound that I think if you're looking for that in a Muff and you've been dissatisfied with other Muffs, this is the one to go for. Let's play with the beef switch a little bit. Here, get my volume back. Kind of a normal setting, and I'll switch to the beef mid-strum. Very subtle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you'll even be able to get that all over the mic. Yeah, it's a very subtle setting here. I should turn the sustain down. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell the difference there. I'll mess with the pass, and I'll just strum it and let it go. So there's a middle setting. Oh, and there's all the way to the left, which gives you kind of like almost more bass. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a different voicing flavor. There's 3 positions on the pass. Like it feels like there's more bass on the left, something brighter in the middle, and then like something maybe a little bit more midi.
Yeah, wasn't that basically how what was the compressor called? The Fusion?
The reactor.
Oh, the reactor.
Yeah.
Like the switch on that was kind of similar where
it's very
you had
subtle.
a couple different positions, but they were very subtle, and it was like more bass, some bass, and then normal in the middle.
Yeah, but then it was like they're subtle in the way where I feel like they do make a big difference when you're really trying to get that specific sort of thing going on.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So they're not extreme differences here, but I think this is a really great sounding Big Muff. I don't have any other fuzzes that are this focused. And so I've been using this a lot kind of for lead work where I'll put like a delay or a reverb behind it and to just make it kind of sing. It's a great singing fuzz. Like you throw it on your neck pickup and you do kind of, you know, like that kind of singing lead, like I was just talking about. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's a very singy, it's a very musical fuzz.
Yeah, totally.
And a lot of fuzzes are just kind of like in your face.
It doesn't splat anywhere. Like, it's very focused and tight. I like it.
Let's give an example.
Well, do you want me to switch over to you?
It sounds great to me.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking is let's switch over to the standard EHX Big Muff and kind of...
It's definitely a lot more like high-end grit and kind of like...
I do feel like with single note runs, they sound... Like there's an obvious difference.
They're big muffs still. They're still big muffs.
They're still muffs. And like I said, I feel like maybe with the one that Meg built, and maybe it's a different circuit. And that's one of the things with so many muffs on the market. I mean, you've got like small font, tall font,
yeah, totally.
Ram's head, well, this one, that one.
Just within Electro Harmonix, there's like a million variations.
That's what I mean. So when you're buying somebody's version of a Big Muff, who knows? I mean, they can usually tell you which version that they kind of started with,
right?
But there's all these little subtle differences.
But that's just the story of fuzzes in general. Like, how many fuzz faces are out there and variations of fuzz faces?
Right.
You know, little tiny differences in the circuits on these things make a huge difference. And it's like, if you're looking for something, you could be on a journey for a long time with a fuzz.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find that perfect fuzz for what you're trying to do.
You got to find that fuzz life. So this is actually, I just rolled the tone all the way off.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's what I was missing. Switch back to the Mccaffrey. So I think
this is why Steve is a bass player.
I think now that I've rolled the tone off, it sounds more like what in my head I think it should sound like.
Sure.
So I mean, that's really great. It just means that there's a lot of just gain on tap and a lot of drive on tap. I just said the same thing. We're using different buzzwords.
It's I think it's a good starting point for any kind of fuzzy signal. Not any kind, but this specific kind of fuzzy signal. Let me do some experimenting here. I've got the neck pickup selected and the tone all the way down, and then the brightness all the way up on the Green Vodka. Still a little bit too bright. Let me mess around with this. Oh, there's a problem. I had the bridge selected.
Ain't no joke I like to.
Yeah, that was a song that came out right around when I was learning guitar. So
really?
Yeah, so I know how to play it.
I'm kind of sad I actually never learned how to play any of their stuff.
Yeah, you don't really need to. So I'll switch back to you if you want. Should we mess around with Meg's Big Muff here? Meg's performance, Steve.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Meg's has a really like compelling drive to it. The tone on it almost has like a filter sound to it. Like especially on the higher settings, it almost gets into like a rat territory where it's like got a cocked wah kind of thing happening.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like it's kind of like an entirely different pedal.
It's a way different voicing. Let me see if I can find that filter sound. Yeah, it's like a very filtered sound. Where I feel like the tone on the Green Vodka and the Electro Harmonix Big Muff is a very different structure. Sounds like a AM radio. That thing's heavy though. That's a heavy sounding fuzz. Let's mess around with that. Very doomy, you know? Here, I'll switch you back on, Steve, if you want to mess with it.
Yeah, it's just really big and... I'm just hitting random things over here.
Yeah, you are. It's fun. Let's check out the range on the Electro Harmonix here. That, Steve. That was a good one.
Hooray.
Yeah. I feel like, we say I feel like so many times. Well, I do anyways. But anyways, my feeling is that the Electro Harmonix is more muffled sounding. It's not as clear sounding of a circuit or a drive as the other two muffs we have here. It definitely doesn't have the range on the tone knob going into brightness that the Green Vodka does, and I don't think it has as much brightness as Meg's version does. But the low end of the tone knob, I think, is a better sound than the low end on Meg's. That's more of like your classic. Like, you could use this for a bass guitar sort of setting. Steve is grabbing a beer right now, but he's nodding very hard. He's like, yes, yes, use it on a bass. And I think that's why Adam bought this pedal. I think he read somewhere that these are excellent bass pedals.
Yeah, there's just a lot of range there.
Yeah, it's just
on the low end, and it definitely feels like it's not losing anything.
Yeah, it's a good tight low, but then the rest of it is just kind of, the rest of the frequency sweep on it is just kind of muddy. That territory, and I feel like that's just mud. Like, that's just gonna get lost in the mix.
It's kind of like that classic Big Muff, like metal mid scoop thing, where if you don't really have a specific game plan in mind when you do it, yeah, it's you put 30 warm bodies in the room and it's gone. The front row hears it.
Right.
No one else hears it.
It just becomes a bass thing. But that's why this is a great bass pedal.
Yeah.
The other two are, I think, are much stronger guitar pedals.
Sure. I can see that.
Yeah. And Megs is very fun, but I honestly, if I had to choose, I think I'd go with the Green Vodka for my uses.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. For bass...
I don't know, man.
For bass, I think you should go with the Electro Harmonix for sure. I haven't plugged the bass into the Green Vodka.
I think I'd have to try them all on bass and
Okay.
kind of figure that out. And I mean, that's just not something we're equipped to do right now. Maybe once we get the acoustic back, we can start doing gear demos, and I'll just play bass instead of guitar.
That's probably
I'll play
what we
both.
should be doing. Is having you play bass.
Yeah, but if I feel like if we put bass through that cab, it might